guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is the 2nd of June and we're having a very chill Sunday. Just started moving books out of the way. Yeah, it's the 2nd and I've got 3 books I finished and 2 that I've hauled, so I thought I would come and say hello. Like I said, it's Sunday, go back to school tomorrow after half term. I'll put my May vlog in the description if you haven't seen that and want to see stuff that I've been up to over half term. But yeah, we're going to be going into term 6, which is going to be very, very busy. I know I say that every term, but we've got year 11 finishing their exams. They've got about 2 weeks left of their GCSEs. Year 10 will then do 2 weeks of mock exams. Then we've also got year 9's end of year exams, so each student will sit 2 papers. 7 and 8 will be normal teaching, and we have year 6 coming for their settling in. We also have sports day happening, and then the last week of term is activities week, where everyone is like, the timetable's completely thrown out the window and everyone is doing different stuff, so it's going to be quite the time. As you can hear, I've still got a little bit of a kind of cough thing happening, plus hay fever is absolutely kicking my butt today. It's the first day since last weekend that we've had any decent weather, so I spent a lot of it in the hammock reading, which has been very lovely, and just trying to relax and recharge as much as possible before the coming chaos. I've also got my sister's wedding in a couple of weeks, which is going to be so lovely and really fun. We've got a family gathering next weekend for my brother-in-law's girlfriend's birthday plus Father's Day. We're kind of putting the 2 together because we don't have Charlie on actual Father's Day. What else is happening this month? That's probably enough to be getting on with. We might also, fingers crossed please, at some point this month get a moving date, because in case you're new here, we're in the process of selling our house and buying another house, so maybe that will happen this month, I don't know. Yeah, plenty happening, but today the sun is shining. I've been out in the hammock, it's been very nice. Oh, and I didn't tell you about Molly. So literally about half an hour after I filmed the end clip for last month's vlog, I came into our bedroom and Molly was just here. She was sitting on the windowsill and there was blood pouring down the wall. And I'm not going to get too graphic with it because I know it makes some people uncomfortable, but she was just sat there, and for anyone that doesn't know, Molly is one of our cats. She was sat there completely calm, but blood everywhere. So I obviously shouted for Gary. He came, there's also blood up the stairs, and he saw what was going on, and just immediately we got the cat carrier out. I got dressed, I was in my pyjamas at the time, I got dressed and I just took her straight up to the vets. Gary stayed here with Charlie because he was getting ready to take Charlie back to his mum. So yeah, took it into the vets. They were brilliant, saw us really quickly, cleaned her up, had a good look, and she's got a chunk, someone or something has taken a chunk out of the underside of her tail, at the like body end rather than the tip of the tail. And so she's got quite a chunk taken out there. Luckily she didn't need stitches. The vets have just given us some painkillers, and we've got to, you know, keep cleaning it and stuff and keeping an eye on it, and she needs to be in for the next 5 days, so she's still got like 3 or 4 days of that left. She seems absolutely fine. She was shocked when it happened, but by the next morning she was back to normal and desperate to get outside, and has become quite the escape artist, so I'm being very careful getting in and out of the room. But yeah, she's okay, she's on the mend. Hopefully that will go smoothly and she can be back out and about this week. So yeah, that's kind of, I think, all the news. Let's talk about books. So the first book I finished this month was an audiobook, so I'll put a picture up here, and that was Young and Damned and Fair, The Life and Tragedy of Catherine Howard. It has got a slightly longer title than they show on GoodReads, but the whole thing's on the screen for you. And that's by Garth Russell, and like I said, I listened to it on audiobook, and the narrator was Jenny Funnell. So I saw Claire Fenby talking about this book and that she was excited to read it. It's been out a few years. I think it's been reissued with a new cover and stuff, and I had a look and it was on Everand, and I was like, great, and I download that, and it was like 15 hours long, so I was like, cool, that'll take me about 2 weeks to listen to. I listened to it in about 3 days because I couldn't stop listening. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, but it's kind of a 5 out of 5 stars with a caveat, because it's exactly the kind of historical non-fiction that I love to read. It's about the Tudors. It was obviously centered on Catherine Howard, but it was also kind of a social commentary of the time, so it explained lots of things that to modern eyes look a little bit weird, but in the Tudor time period would have been completely normal. And it also cleared up a few kind of misconceptions about Catherine Howard. If you don't know, she was Henry VIII's 5th wife. She was the 2nd wife that he had beheaded, and she is generally considered to be, she's generally portrayed to be this kind of loose slut who just slept with a bunch of people, and her behaviour caught up with her in the end, and he had her executed, and that just isn't the case. And I really like the way that what was the author, Gareth Russell, kind of looked at that and looked at it critically and looked at the actual evidence, and I just thought it was really, really well done. And it's also just a desperately sad story, because although we don't know exactly when she was born, because we don't have a birth certificate for her, on the available evidence it's unlikely that she ever made it to her 21st birthday, and it's just heartbreaking to think about. So I gave this 5 stars. I learned some stuff, I thought it was really interesting. Like I said, I couldn't stop listening to it. So for me, it was a 5-star read. However, is it one I would recommend to everybody? No. I feel like if you've got a particular specialist interest in this, it's a really good one. But it won't be enjoyable to everybody, is what I would say. But yeah, I really enjoyed it and I gave it 5 stars. Then yesterday I finished Little Deaths by Emma Flint. Both this and the next book actually were gifted to me by the lovely Jo. So thank you so much, Jo, for putting these books into my hands. So I read last year Other Women by Emma Flint, and I was lucky enough to get sent a review copy, and I was about 50 pages into it when I pre-ordered the hardback, because I absolutely loved that book. One of my favourite books of last year. I can't stop thinking about it. I will at some point reread it. And this is her debut. And it's based on the real life case of a woman who was convicted of the murder, or accused of the murder, of her 2 small children. And this is a fictionalised account. It's different from the real life case, but it's kind of inspired by that case. And we're following Ruth, who is living with her 2 small children, who are 4 and 5. She's separated from her husband, who's also their father, and she wakes up one morning and they've disappeared. And then shortly after, she obviously calls the police and her ex-husband and all that kind of stuff. Eventually the bodies of her 2 children are found, and we know at the beginning that Ruth is in prison, and then we kind of wind back to see how she ended up there. We've also got the perspective of, is it Pete? Yeah, who is a newspaper reporter working on the case, and he becomes obsessed, intrigued by and then obsessed with Ruth. And I gave this 3 stars. I feel like if I'd read this first, I probably wouldn't have read anything else by the author, which shows me that I should give authors more than one try. So I'm shifting position. Excuse me. Yeah, I really like the start of this. She's really, really good at atmospheric writing. This is slow burn literary fiction, and she's really good at creating that atmosphere, I would say. But by the end, I'd kind of lost all interest. I'd solved the crime in my head, and I was right. And I felt like there was a particular moment in the courtroom scene, and it was just like, how was no prosecutor or judge or anyone realised how obvious the answer to this is? So I felt like that kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. But I also didn't see the point of the Pete storyline. It was just a little bit mid, and I feel like I won't remember this in a year's time. I am still really glad I got to read it. So again, like I said, thank you, Jo, because I had really been looking forward to this. This was a kind of 5-star prediction in my head, and this is exactly why I don't make 5-star prediction videos, because they very rarely work out how I think it will. So yeah, it was an interesting look at kind of judging people. She's prejudged because of the way she dresses, and she smokes, and she works in a bar, and she's sexually promiscuous, and all of that stuff was really well done. I just didn't quite catch the point of it, and I didn't love the ending. So that was that one. And then this morning I finished Falling Hard for the Royal Guard by Megan Clausen, again very kindly gifted by Jo, so thank you so much, Jo. This was put on my radar by Aoife at Pretty Purple Polka Dots, and I can't remember why she recommended it to me, but she did, and I put it on my, so I'm just moving things, I put it on my wish list, and then Jo very kindly sent it my way. And this was fun. I gave this 3.5 stars. We are following, oh my gosh, what's her name, Maggie, who lives in the Tower of London. I didn't know this, but you know, there is like a whole load of apartments and houses and stuff within Tower Green, and she lives there, and she's got kind of a dead-end job working in one of the kiosks. Her dad is a beefeater, and her mum has recently passed away from cancer, and that's quite a big storyline. It's, well, not the cancer itself, but like grief is quite a big theme in this, so just be aware of that going in. And then one day she literally bumps into Freddie, who is one of the guards, and it's about their friendship. It's about Maggie trying to kind of disengage herself from a really toxic ex-boyfriend. She goes on Tinder for a bit and goes on a series of dates, And yeah, I gave this 3.5 stars. It was fun, it was cute. I didn't love the kind of middle bit. There's a bit where she starts going on Tinder dates. I thought that was really fun, but then we get into like a whole miscommunication trope with Freddie, which I always find a little bit annoying. There's also a cheating trope in this, which is not my favourite, and then it felt like it suddenly like all wrapped up really quickly at the end. So yeah, it was okay. If you're looking for a cute kind of contemporary romance story with a few darker themes, so sort of like I said, that theme of grief is in there. It's very much about Maggie finding her own confidence, which I also really enjoyed. There's no like smut at all or anything like that, so it's all like very PG friendly. Yeah, it was cute. There were no corgis in it though, and there's a corgi on the front, and I think if you've got a corgi on the front you need to provide a corgi character. So yeah, 3.5 stars. It was an easy read, and I'm glad I had a chance to read it. Then I've had 2 books come in, and you'll have seen these already by the time this goes up, and I'll link the video below, but I was very kindly sent 2 books by your Paper Quest. They asked me to do an unboxing for them, which was lovely, and they sent me The Teddy and Bara Show, a novel by Will Tinkham, and they sent me California Hustle by Jeffrey Messineo. I don't know, apologies. But yeah, they sent me these 2, which sound really fun, look really fun, and I will probably read them over like July and August. But like I said, I'm not going to get too deeply into those because you'll have seen that video by now, which I will link in the description. And then one other bookish thing that has happened in the last 24 hours is more bookmarks have arrived. I decided to have a go at designing my own, right? I adore the ones that Amy's done for us, but I don't want to keep bothering her whenever I want new designs. And so I thought I would have a go myself. I'm not saying that these are anywhere near the level of what Amy produces, but I asked you guys on Instagram and also on my community tab here if you'd be interested in ones designed by me, obviously with the aim of raising as much money as possible for our charities as we can, and you guys seem to be enthusiastic. So I was doing a live show with Charlotte a while ago. I can't remember what it was for, but somebody asked me what my favourite, like what would be the ingredients of my ideal book, and I said found family, food and serial killers, which made everyone laugh, and Charlotte said you should put that on a bookmark. So I did. I've made these 4 designs. I'm hoping that by the time you see this there'll have been a video go up with all of the bookmark designs, because this is just the first one. I've also come up with a bunch of others which are bookish eras, but again, if that video's happened, it'll be in the description. At the time of filming this, I only have these ones. I'm waiting for the others to arrive so that I can film. But yeah, I've got the bright pink llama. I wanted to do like really fun, cute ones, and then you read it and you're like, oh. So yeah, we've got the pink llama. We have got the book stack. We have got the rainbow one, which is obviously my favourite. And we've got the cute birdie with the books. So yeah, that's really fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your guys' reaction to those. So that is all the bookish updates. For now, I think it's about 3 o'clock. I'm gonna go and sit in the garden for a bit more, and then I'm making lasagna tonight. And then tomorrow, term 6 is starting. It's the 9th of June, and as it is Sunday, I am in full thumb mode. We are deep into cleaning the house this morning, but I'm just taking a little breather. I'm also waiting for Charlie to use the bathroom so I can clean it. And I thought I'd come and chat with you and update you, because I've got quite a few updates to give book-wise. It's been quite the week. So in the last 7 days, we've had Molly's tail injury. She's now absolutely fine. I'm back outside, but yeah, it was a bit scary last weekend. I think I talked to you about it. So we've had that. Then I needed 2 new tyres on my car. Both my front tyres went at the same time. We had a whole day without internet at school on Thursday, which anyone who works in school will know how stressful and disruptive that is. Not only can I not use the PowerPoints that I've prepared, but I can't obviously send emails or take a register or anything like that. Like, it's just really stressful. So that was fun. So that was the 3rd thing. What else? Oh, we've had some complications with
the people who are buying our house, so our house sale, which I won't bore you with, but it's not looking great. So just cross your fingers for me, please, for us, please. I went to the doctor about my cough because it's still not gone. As you can probably hear, I sound really croaky. Turns out it might have been whooping cough. Didn't know that was a thing I could get, given that I was vaccinated as a child, but apparently it's come back round. And I'm now about 8 weeks in, so I'm no longer infectious, but I would have been when I first had the cough. But I had no idea that that was a possibility. So Environmental Health then had to contact the school to say that they've possibly had a case, and I had to do a mouth swab and stuff. So that was fun. And oh yeah, and then we had a flood in our kitchen because a pipe split underneath the sink. So it's been a really fun week. My house smells like dirty water, which is why we are like fully cleaning everything today. It's like, it's been fixed and it's all drying out, but like the whole house just smells disgusting. So it's been kind of stressful. Yesterday was lovely though. We went out for food to do an early Father's Day celebration for Gary and my father-in-law, and also celebrate my sister-in-law's birthday, which is on the 2nd. So that was really nice. And then went back to my in-laws for cake. My mother-in-law made an epic cake as always. I don't think I took any B-roll footage of it, so I will try and remember to put a picture up here. But it was a really lovely day, and today is for chores, etc. This week we've got lots, it's just the usual chaos of a working week. I can't talk about that yet because I haven't told you guys yet about it, but there's like changes at work I mentioned in previous vlogs, and some of that is kicking in this week, which is exciting and nerve-wracking, etc, etc. And then next weekend we are going away. I've booked us 3 nights in an Airbnb. We were not supposed to be doing anniversary gifts. It's our 6th wedding anniversary on the 30th of June, and we were not supposed to be doing gifts. We agreed that. And then it's my sister's wedding on the 17th, which is on the Monday. So we're both taking the day off work. And I just thought, you know what? It's a really good opportunity to just get away. Everything's been so stressful the last, 6 months really. And it's just a really good excuse. So I booked a really nice Airbnb, which obviously I will show you in B-roll. So we're going to go away. We're going Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then going to the wedding on the Monday because I booked an Airbnb near where the wedding is. And then come back Monday after the wedding. So that's something to really look forward to. It feels like we're kind of like stealing time, and like having a little holiday in the middle of term feels really naughty. So yes, so that's something nice to look forward to. Okay, let's talk about books, because I've got 3 books I finished, and I've been sent 2 press packs this week. Not had press packs for ages, and then I had 1 last month, and now I've had 2 this week, so I'm very spoiled and very appreciative. So the first book that I finished as an audiobook, so again I'll put a picture up here, was One of the Girls by Lucy Clark, and it was read by Natalie Simpson and Sophia Zenvandaki. Hopefully I've said that correctly, apologies. I enjoyed this. This is about a group of 6 women who go on a hen weekend in Greece, and that is all I'm going to tell you. And you know from the start that by the end of the weekend there's a dead body. And yeah, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I almost DNF'd it in the first 15% because it did take a while to get going. It took a while to hook me in. But once it did, and once you get to know the women and who's who, because there is quite a big cast, everyone's hiding secrets, and I just really enjoyed following the characters. I didn't give it 5 stars. Like I said, it was a bit slow to get going, and I didn't love the end. I do have some feelings about the end, but I can't talk about that without spoilers. But yeah, it was an enjoyable, easy read. I can see why a lot of people are picking it up. I'm a bit confused as to when it was published. I thought it was a new release because I've seen a few people with like NetGalley arcs and stuff. Apologies if you can hear my husband brushing his teeth. Oh no, that'd be Charlie brushing his teeth because I told him to so I can clean the bathroom. Good boy. Yeah, I thought it was new. And then when I looked on GoodReads, I think it came out in 2022 or 2021. So I'm not sure. I don't know if it's been reissued with a new cover or whatever. But anyway, I enjoyed it. It was an easy read. It was fun, few twists and turns, lots of revelations. So yeah, that was a 4-star. Then yesterday I finished my first reread of the month, which was Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. I have started my Nevermore reread because we are going to get book 4 in September. And I'm very excited about it. I gave this 4 stars the first time I read it. I've moved it up to 4.5. When I first read it, I wasn't doing half stars. And I feel like it's a 4.5 star read for me. We are following Morrigan Crow. It's a middle grade. She is a so-called cursed child, and she is doomed to die basically on New Year's Eve in her world. And instead of dying, she is rescued by Jupiter North and taken off to Nevermore. And that's all I'm really going to say. I love this series with my whole entire heart. It was such a joy to be back in the world and to be at the hotel. There's a giant cat called Fen, and there's just like magic and mayhem everywhere, and I really enjoyed it. I can't give this book 5 stars because I don't think it explains things enough. I don't think it sets the world up well enough for a first book. There are still so many questions by the end of this book, and I feel like it felt a little bit unfinished. However, I did still love it, and I'm very, very excited to go on and read, is it Wondersmith next? The second one next month. So yeah, that was a 4.5. And then this morning, I finished The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. I finished the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and as you can see, she is tabbed. And as always, I tab for characters, so I won't tell you who's who. The tabs at the back, these are for the like appendices and the notes and the maps and stuff. Now we've got beeping going on. Apologies for that. Don't know quite what's going on. Oh, my husband's hoovering. It's a busy day in our household. I gave this 5 stars. This made me cry at the end. I absolutely loved it. I don't even know what to tell you about it. I just absolutely loved it, and it was a 5-star read. I've given all of the books 5 stars except Two Towers, which I gave 4 stars. The Hobbit remains my favourite, but I just loved this, and like I said, I cried at the end, and I'm so happy that I picked this series up. I'm so happy that I picked it up because I just loved it. So these are the books that I finished. I'm going to quickly show you these press backs, and then I should probably go back and join the cleaning. So first of all, I've had this come through. This is Hiding Him by Adam Hatton. I had a lovely email from Adam Hatton a while ago, and then completely forgot about it, and this arrived this week, and I was like, what is this? So I've obviously opened the box it came in and then like loosened the front so I can get in. So let's have a little look at this together. So this just says, to Victoria, hope you like it, and then it's signed, so that's so nice. And then this is the book. Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting a hardback copy. How lovely. Oh, and there's stuff in here as well. Okay, so this is the book. I think it's out now or very soon. And let's read the back together. So it says, let's get one thing straight. Cameron Hawkins isn't. What he is hopelessly single and longing to escape his village in the arse end of nowhere. That is until a newcomer arrives, Finn. He's tall, dark, obscenely handsome, and somewhat of an enigma. Is Finn the answer to Cam's happily ever after, or will shadows of the past stand in the way of their palpable chemistry? Hiding Him explores coming of age, coming out, and hearts coming together. In this warm and cosy read, get ready to laugh with friends, relish in a little spice, and gird your loins for several adrenaline-charged moments. This is really fun. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was said in the back when it comes out. So yeah, that sounds so cute. Let's see what else is in here. Look at this box. Okay, so, bookmark. Love it when a book comes with its own bookmark. How exciting. You can obviously decide which is your favourite character, I guess, who you want on the front. Oh, it's coming out on the 2nd of July. This is just a little, like, bump on it. What else is in here? Ooh, this says, open after reading. How intriguing. So I'll obviously keep that with the book. Sunglasses. This is fun. Put those over my other glasses for now. Love that. Okay, pair of sunglasses with the book on the arm. And is that a tote bag? Yes, I think it is. Or a book seat. Yes, it's a tote bag. We all know how much we love a tote bag. How very exciting. Thank you very much to Adam Hatton and his team for sending that to me. I've now got packing stuff all over the floor. Okay, so that was that one. And then Pam Macmillan sent me a box. I know it's them because it's got the label on the front, but it got stood on. So it arrived a little bit smushed. Again, I've opened the front, but we'll have a look at this together. Ooh, look at that. It's so beautifully done. I'm so sad it got crushed on its way to me. Okay, this is When Harry Was Here by Dustin Thau. I don't know if I said that right. What a beautiful cover. And this says, from the author of the best-selling tearjerker TikTok sensation, When You've Reached Sam comes When Harry Was Here. Oh, I've heard of When You've Reached Sam. After the death of his best friend, Eric Lyde creates an imaginary scenarios in his head to deal with his grief. Until the boy he met last summer, Harry Takana, walks into the coffee shop. Eric suddenly has someone to connect with, making him feel less alone in the world. But as they spend more time together, he begins to question what is real. Soon Eric must confront his reality, even if it means losing Harry forever. But what does it mean to let go? Oh, this is going to definitely make me cry, isn't it? Gosh, it's quite short. Okay, lovely. This one says open me on page 270, so of course I will. Something smells delicious in here. This is cherry blossom seeds. I love that. What else have we got? Yep. Tears guaranteed. We've got a sticker. It says First Ink on it. Oh, this is what I could smell. This is a wax melt, I think, and it smells like cherry blossoms, obviously. That's so cute. Well, thank you so very much to Hannah Macmillan and Book Break for sending that my way. I'm sorry it got smushed in the post, but it's still very exciting. That's it for now. I should probably go and get on with the cleaning. What fun. And then hopefully I can get in the hammock this afternoon because there's actually a little bit of blue sky. It's the 13th of June. I've got mad hair, I'm in my pyjamas and I'm losing my voice because it's Thursday and I've just finished a very full day of teaching. I've also got all 3 cats in the room with me. The girls are up here. Jack's somewhere here. Why am I so bad at this sort of there-ish? And I'm just coming in to bring you a quick update, obviously, so my brain took a minute to click into gear. It's also like hurricane weather outside. That's a slight exaggeration, but the rain is coming in sideways and it's very windy, so apologies for background noise. What a week. It's only Thursday. I encountered some particularly unpleasant behaviour yesterday from one of the boys. It is being dealt with, but it's just like that wasn't nice. But we are running away at the weekend, Gary and I, and I'm very excited about my sister's wedding, so that's nice. And I just wanted to do an update before we go away because I'll obviously do B-roll of where we're staying tomorrow, and all of that stuff. And I kind of like, although my vlogs are chaotic, so I'm just watching Mole, who is like tracking, is there a fly or something? She's like tracking something outside the window. These vlogs are chaos, but I do like to try and have some structure in it, so I kind of want to do a clip and then launch into the B-roll of the apartment either tomorrow or Saturday and stuff. So I just thought I'd come and say hello. And then yesterday I came home and I'd been sent 4 books by my beautiful friend Charlotte at Books and Bargains. So I thought I'd show you these and do a very quick haul. Basically, I said on Instagram that I was looking for some romance books because, well, the weather's atrocious, but it's technically summer, or is about to be summer. And I was kind of in the mood for some, like, cute, romancy times. And so she thought she would just send me... Oh, Savannah, I'm trying to talk about how nice Auntie Charlotte has been. That was sad in case you didn't know. Yeah, so Charlotte decided to send me her four of her current like favourite romancy reads because she's just completely adorable. So thank you so much, Charlotte. Obviously I've messaged you very effusively. I'm sorry I didn't open them on camera. I got overexcited yesterday having had an absolute shocker of a day at work, and I opened up the parcels. But yeah, she has sent me Heidi Swain. So this is The Holiday Escape. I'm not going to go into like what all of these books are about. I'll link Charlotte because she's been talking about them lately. I'm sure you're probably following her anyway if you follow me. And I'm going to read these. I think I'm going to put these into my 31 and 31 for August. So The Holiday Escape by Heidi Swain. I am not allowed to read Heidi Swain usually. Charlotte banned me because she's Charlotte's favourite author and Charlotte's worried that I won't like it. But she said in the note in this one, this is a standalone and you won't break my heart if it's not for you. So she's allowing me to read this Heidi Swain, which is very exciting. So she sent me that one. She also sent me The Happy Hour by Cressida McLaughlin. Hopefully I've said that right. Another of Charlotte's favourite romance authors. This looks really cute. I really love the cover. Then she sent me Friday I'm in Love by Cameron Garrett, who wrote, oh, what's on the back? Full Disclosure, which Charlotte and I buddy read 3 years ago possibly, and absolutely loved. So I'm really excited to read their new one. And this is obviously very much Pride themed, which is very exciting. And then she also sent me Hits Different by Tasha Ghouri and Lizzie Huxley-Jones. Lizzie Huxley-Jones, I read her romance book for the Christmas one, Make Her Mine This Christmas or something, which I enjoyed. That was my Christmas, my Charlotte Christmas book last year. She's going to be shouting at the screen because I can't remember what the book's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, she sent me these 4 wonderful books, which, like I said, I'm going to put into my 31 and 31 for August because look how colourful and summery those spines are. Now Sal's coming to say hello, Mole's coming to say hello. But yeah, I'm tired. It's been a rough week. Still smiling though, so it can't be that bad. And I've got a big adventure with the husband this weekend, and then my sister's wedding, which is going to be super, super exciting. I don't know when I will next talk to you. It might be when we get back on Tuesday.
but I'm really looking forward to this weekend, and I will take what B-roll I can. Obviously at the wedding, I don't know, like it depends on what's appropriate and comfortable at the time. I'll at least show you what I'm wearing, but my sister was like not online, which is absolutely fine, and I will obviously respect that. But yeah, just know it'll be a nice family time on Monday, and then back to normal rest of next week. So yeah, I'm gonna stop chatting to you and go and pack for what is hopefully gonna be a really fun weekend. It's the 18th of June and I am in full thumb mode. I'm also losing my voice. We had such a good weekend. Obviously, I've showed you some clips of it. I'll put the Airbnb that we used down in the description because I know some of you use those sometimes as recommendations. We had such a lovely couple of days just by ourselves. Went out for some really good food. We went to Urban Garden in Bournemouth, which was so good. It's one of the best roasts out I think I've ever had. And yeah, it was just such a cool atmosphere and we just really enjoyed it. And then yesterday was the wedding, which was super, super lovely. It was really good to get obviously that side of my family together. For anyone that doesn't know, my parents are divorced and my sisters are my stepsisters. And so it was just nice to see that part of my family and obviously the groom's family as well. And the wedding was beautiful. My sister was stunning. She made the most perfect bride. And it was just this lovely, lovely day. So yeah, it's been a really good couple of days. I am a bit of a shell. I feel like this cough is never going to end and it's getting a little bit frustrating, but we're trying to ignore it and push through. Today I have been getting the house in order, just giving it a really good thorough tidy. I've got my marking done for year 9, which is good because year 10 start their mocks today, but they have the English mocks on Thursday, Friday, so that will be my last a big bit of marking for the year. And getting the summer holidays planned and all of that kind of stuff. And I've had a new, my next shipment of bookmarks have come in, which I will show you really quickly. And obviously I've been reading, so let's do the reading update first. So the first book that I finished was Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This is my second reread for the month. This is about killer mermaids. It's a horror, it's very dark, check content warnings. I gave it 5 stars. I just think it's phenomenal. The first time I read it, I gave it 4 stars. Don't know why I knocked a star off. I'm not sure, because I was just completely gripped by this from start to finish. There's all kind of rep in here from various different characters. It's terrifying, it's gory.
It's really atmospheric. I would never swim in the ocean ever again, but I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I gave that 5 stars. Highly recommend, but just check the content warnings. And then I read Skin Deep by Liz Nugent. So this is the final Liz Nugent book that I needed to read to have read her whole backlist. I gave this 3 stars or 3.5 stars, something like that. Yeah, it was all right. We are following, what's her name, Delia, and it starts off on the French Riviera, I think. And I'll give you the opening line because it really had me hooked. So it says, "I wonder when rigor mortis would set in, or if it already had." And I feel like Liz Nugent is like the absolute master at first lines, and having these really interesting setups and premises, and these morally grey or just bad, like morally evil, here comes Savvy, characters, because we know at the start that there's a dead body in Delia's apartment, and then she goes out for the night and she goes out partying. And then it flashes back to when she was a child on a very remote remote Irish island. There we go, that's probably the right sentence. And we see what her childhood was like and see how she grows up, and she's clearly a sociopath. She definitely doesn't react to things the way that other people do, and you follow her through her whole life and the choices that she makes. And yeah, it was a quick, easy read. I think I said this with a previous Liz Nugent one that I read, which I can't remember what it was called. I don't know if it's listed in here. But I'm not quite sure what the point was, or what kind of like message she was trying to give. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was fine. I think this is going to be, to quote Aoife, I think this is going to be one of those "it was a book and I read it" books. I doubt very much if I'll remember it in a month's time. But at the time, it was entertaining. Like I said, it was a quick read. She is a really good writer. I'm just not quite sure what the point was. And again, check content warnings because there's a lot of really dark stuff in here. And then I ran out of books to read. I made a rookie error and didn't take enough books with me. So we went to Waterstones in Bournemouth, as you'll have seen in the B-roll, and I decided to treat myself to a book. And I've seen this book around for a little while now, and I keep looking at it. I've looked at it 2 or 3 times in bookshops and put it back down, and then I saw it and I just thought, you know what, I am going to treat myself. And it was a big treat myself because it was a brand new hardback to this book, and it is The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. As you can see, I'm about a quarter of the way through. This cover, this might be one of the most beautiful covers I've seen for a while. And I love all the sort of iridescent bits. I love the spine, the back's beautiful. The hardback is this beautiful yellow colour, obviously for the honey. I'm just obsessed with this. And it says on the front, "A sweet feast brimming with whimsy, magic and tender longing." And I was like, yes, please. And it's this kind of cosy, witchy, sapphic, I think, story. And like I said, I'm about a quarter of the way through, so you'll probably see me wrap this up before the end of this video. But yeah, that was my little treat myself book whilst we were away. And then today, and by the time this video goes up, the proper video for this will have gone up, so I'll link that in the description. But my 15 different reading eras bookmarks have arrived, so I should just show you really quickly. So we've got reading era even, middle grade era, love that one, young adult era, romance, literary fiction, I like this one as well, non-fiction, historical fiction, classics, cozy mystery, that was fantasy that Josh dropped, fantasy, romantasy, dark academia, because obviously I'm reading this backwards in the camera, what's that one, thriller, sci-fi and horror. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time today photographing these and getting Etsy set up and ready for Sunday, because yeah, like I said, they'll be live by the time you see this video, so I'll link the proper video for this and obviously the Etsy link in the description. And a reminder, I do this for charity. I don't make any money whatsoever. I don't even take out the cost of what it costs to get these printed. That's my donation to the charity pot. So yeah, if you buy these or any of my other bookmarks, all of that money goes to our 2 charities for this year, which is Crisis and the Trussell Trust. But I'll put that video in there properly because I'm very scattered today and this clip is probably a mess, as much of a mess as my hair is. But yeah, I just wanted to update you quickly on what I've been reading. Today's Tuesday, so I've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at school. Then we've got the weekend with Charlie, which is lovely. And then we're into the last couple weeks of term, which is wild. But there is so much to do in that time. I'm trying not to think about it right now. But pluses, positives, year 11 have finished and gone. Year 9 marking is done. So I'm going into mock week with a clear like clear deck of marking, so that's nice. I've had a lovely couple of days with the husband. The sun has also made an appearance as well. It was gorgeous yesterday for the wedding. It's a bit cloudy today, but that's okay. I don't want too much heat just yet. But yeah, the sun is starting to make an appearance, so that's lovely. And like I said, I've spent today kind of getting my life together. So it's now about 3:30. I am going to go, what have I got left to do? I need to update my reading journal, do my nails, and then have a bath and relax before I go back to real life tomorrow. It's the 23rd of June and I've got another cold. Yay! So that's why I sound like this. Anyway, it's fine. We are having quite a quiet weekend this weekend. Charlie's got walking pneumonia, which is a bit scary, Mary. He's fine. He will be fine. He's having antibiotics and stuff. So we're just dealing with that. And I sound like I've been smoking 90 a day for 25 years, which I have not. But there we go. Another week down. We've got 4 weeks left until the summer holidays, which is really exciting. So I'm just finally getting around to like organising the summer holidays and booking some stuff, planning some stuff for me and for Charlie. And there's lots of fun stuff coming up. I also yesterday, if you are on my Instagram, you'll have seen the picture that I put up. I'll put it up here. Put together my 31 and 31 TBR for August. And this picture shows you what's left on my shelves after I've taken those books off. I was like, oh my, it's going to be a busy month. I'm going to do a whole TBR video that will come up at the end of July. I'm under no illusions that I'm going to actually manage 31 and 31, but I am going to give it a blooming good try. And I'm taking a very methodical approach to it, which will not surprise any of you because you guys know me really well. But yeah, I put that together yesterday and I was like, oh my, okay. So we've been doing that. And then the 2 new collections for my bookmarks launched this morning. It's now about an hour and a half since the video went live and the shop went back open. And I've already had like a dozen orders. So thank you so much if you're one of those people. Every single time I get a notification from Etsy that I've made a sale, it's so exciting. And thank you also because I know not everyone can afford to do it. And there's absolutely no pressure at all to obviously order bookmarks from me. But I've seen some of you as well sharing my video, sharing the Etsy link, and I just really appreciate that because it just all helps. And as ever, we're trying to raise money for the 2 charities for this year. So yeah, that's what's been going on. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, which means chores and stuff in our house. I'm pretty much done, even though it's like 10:30, so I'm feeling pretty smug this morning. Although that's what happens when you're awake at 5 a.m. But I have somehow got 6 books to talk to you about. Is it 6 books? 1, 2, yeah, 6. Crikey, I have been busy this week. I've also got my trusty blue book because I just know that I'm not going to remember the exact ratings I gave each of these books. So the first one was an audiobook, so I'll put the image up here. And that was One by Eve Smith, narrated by Rose Robinson. I read another book by Eve Smith last month. What was that one called? Please remind me. Off Target. And I thought one was her debut, but actually I think it's her most recent release. And this is a dystopian set in a world where there is a one-child policy in Britain, and there's been various kind of economic disasters, environmental disasters, and Britain has pretty much closed its borders to anyone trying to come in. And like I said, they've got this one-child policy. And we follow a character whose name I have completely forgotten, as usual, who works for the party. And it's her job to go around to couples who have had a second pregnancy and force them into ending that pregnancy. And at the very beginning of the book, she very much believes in everything that the party has told her. She's grown up within the party. And we as a reader get kind of mixed media excerpts. So stuff from newspaper articles or, you know, internet blogs and stuff from outside of the UK looking in And we can see, obviously, that she's living in a dystopian, but she thinks she's living in a utopia. And I always think that's a really interesting way to tackle a dystopian story. And then she finds out that her mother had 2 pregnancies, not 1. And then she's kind of met with, like, dealing with this conflict of, should she report her parents? What should she do? And we follow her through that story. I thought this was really well done. What did I give it? A 4-star? Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyed the audiobook. Highly recommend the audiobook. That's really well done. I think Eve Smith is... Sorry, guys. I think Eve Smith is a writer that I'm definitely going to read more from. I think I can't give her any more than a 4-star at the moment because I'm not connecting emotionally. But I did think this was a really interesting look at the way things might go and that moral question of what would you do if it directly affected your family. So yeah, I thought that was a really good one. Apologies for the cut. I just had a proper coughing fit, which you guys don't need to watch. Okay, next up is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Technically, I've been reading this since September because I've been reading it out loud with my tutor group and we finally finished it on Friday. So I'm counting this as read because I have read this whole thing out loud to a bunch of 14-year-olds. Gave it 5 stars as always. They also really loved it. In case you don't know, this is one of the kind of OG YA dystopians where we follow Katniss Everdeen into the Hunger Games, which is a fight to the death. And yeah, very quick review for me. I've read this 4 or 5 times now. It's always 5 stars. I love it. I can't wait to read Catching Fire in July. I forgot what the next month was then for a second. Then I read another audiobook, a really short one because this is a little novella. Again, I'll put the thing up here. And that's Rolling in the Deep by Mira Grant, narrated by Terry Schnaubelt. And this is the prequel. This is 0.5 to... I read it earlier this month. Into the Drowning Deep. You can literally see it here. Into the Drowning Deep. Into the Drowning Deep follows, as I've already said in this video, I think, a crew who goes to find out what happens on the original ship that went out to the Mariana Trench, and then Rolling in the Deep follows that original voyage and what they find. It's a really short novella. I think it's like 100 or so pages, 128 pages. Apologies, this is so choppy. I just want to get this clip filmed before I forget all of my reviews. I've now got a throat sweet and some water to try and help get me through the talking. So yeah, this is a really short one. I think the audiobook was about 3 hours. I really enjoyed it. Oh, here's Molly to come and add to the chaos. She's now going to want to go outside. Can you wait 2 minutes, darling? It was creepy. It was horrific. I really enjoyed it. Oh dear, this is not going very well, is it? Apologies. Rolling in the Deep, horror novella, loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I think my only complaint, which is a weird thing to complain about with a novella, it wasn't long enough. So I didn't really connect with any of the characters like I did in with Into the Drowning Deep. You kind of can't really care about them because they're kind of there and gone. But I would recommend it, and if you've read the first one, I would recommend reading this little like prequel novella. Next up was National Dish by Angela von Bremzen. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. My dyslexia does not like this font. This is non-fiction, and she spent some time... Sorry guys, we're going to do like speed reviews because clearly I can't talk much today. So, non-fiction about food, really enjoyed it, gave it 4 stars, she says confidently. No, gave it 3.5 stars. Thought it was really interesting, but there's quite a lot of generalising and that was a little bit uncomfortable. Then The Honey Witch, really enjoyed this one. Cute, queer, magical debut. 4 stars? Yeah, 4 stars. Parts of it were 5-star, but the writing was a little bit lacking in places. And then Hiding Him by Adam Hatton. This is a slightly more grown-up, slightly more X-rated heartstopper about a gay teenage boy who's in 6th form at school and a new boy moves to his town. Really enjoyed it. Really heartwarming. Made me laugh out loud. I'm sorry to not give proper reviews for these books, but I'm really, really struggling to talk. Although Hiding Him did come with this very intriguing open after reading. So we're going to open this together and see what this is. I have no idea what this might be. Oh, it's a pin. Oh my gosh. It's the Business Beaver. And if you know, you know. So that is so cute. I'm going to put that on my lanyard at work. I'm going to go have a good coughing fit and pack some Etsy orders. it's the 28th of June and I'm just in the middle of filming July content, and I thought I'd drop in. I haven't finished any books. I am, as you can hear, sounding a little bit healthier than when I last saw you, so there should be less coughing in this clip. I do apologise for the chaos of that. Part of me was like, should I refilm it? And it's like, well, I could, but that wouldn't be real life. And yeah, anyway, it's been a very busy week. As ever, I had to be a bit pushy at work about some stuff that I'll be able to talk to you guys about probably in July or August, which was stressful. But we're off school today. School's closed. We've got working from home teacher training today, although I've done all of my tasks, so I'm using that time to be creative and mess about on the internet and have fun. So yeah, I'm not at school today. Gary's out on site as well, which makes it a perfect filming day because he's really kind and he will like literally stay completely still and silent upstairs when I'm filming. But obviously empty house is the best time to do it. Charlie's still really poorly. He's already had pneumonia and now he's got tonsillitis on top of that, poor kid. So he's being treated for it and he will be all right. It's just a rough ride for him at the moment, which is rubbish. And then woke up this morning to the really sad news that Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf died a couple of days ago. There was a post from her husband on her community tab, and I don't even know what to say. It's just desperately sad. She was only 39, and yeah, I just, you know, I it's almost one of those things. I was almost like, I don't know if I should talk about it because I can't claim her as a close friend. She's someone who we've kind of seen each other around in the community for the last few years, used to comment back and forth on each other's videos, and all of that kind of stuff. But I'd never met her in person. We hadn't kind of worked on any projects together. We didn't like text or anything like that. But my heart just really hurts for her husband and her close friends and her family. And it's just a really shocking thing that happened. So yeah, I just what do you say, it's just desperately sad. So yeah, I am, like I said, I'm filming today July content, trying to get that done, and it's our wedding anniversary this weekend, so going to the Pig tomorrow, which will be absolutely lovely, and then out for brunch on Sunday, which is our actual anniversary, and probably for a bike ride. And then I got the last 2 weeks of term, and then it's another school year done. So yeah, I will come in and chat to you and wrap up probably be the middle of next week before I do that for me. You'll see it in probably a couple of minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to drop in and do a quick update whilst I was sat in my filming setup. And yeah, I'm going to film some stuff and then it's time for the anniversary weekend. And those are almost all the books I read in the month of June. I am just coming in to wrap up the wrap up. I've got a very naughty cat currently. This one, hello. So if you can hear rustling, she is playing. We've got their tunnel down here. So yeah, it is now the 1st of July and I'm coming in to wrap up the wrap up, and I've got 2 more books that I finished yesterday and 1 book that's come in, which I just need to talk to you about, obviously. Balance the books, and then that's the end of June, which is wild. We had a really lovely weekend, as you saw from the B-roll. Really enjoyed our anniversary weekend. You can see some anniversary cards behind me, obviously one from each of us to the other one, and then also my parents-in-law and my brother-in-law and his girlfriend were kind enough to send us a lovely anniversary card, which is so nice. And yeah, just had a really lovely weekend. And now I'm back into the swing of school. Got 3 weeks left of term, 2 normal weeks and then activities week. So we are just getting on with that. And yeah, I am officially waffling and I'm getting distracted by the cat down here who is looking a bit feisty, so I probably shouldn't keep scratching her head. So, books that I finished. The first one that I finished since I spoke to you was Like a Curse by Elle McNichol. This is the sequel to Like a Charm, which you can see just somewhere there on my bookshelf. I gave the first book 5 stars. This is the sequel. And I'm really conflicted as to what to give this, because this is middle grade. We're following, is it Ramya? Yes. Who is a witch. And she also has dyslexia and dyspraxia, which I have, and it isn't representation that I've seen before. And the first book made me cry because the representation was so accurate, and it was a weird feeling to have that part of my identity seen, because obviously as a white, straight passing, able-bodied woman, I see myself represented, or parts of my identity represented all the time, but I'd never seen that part of me identified in a book before, or like displayed on in a book before, and it was really emotional. I loved how Elle McNichol did that. Then I picked this one up, which is the sequel, and obviously I can't tell you too much about it because spoilers. And I was bored in sections of this. It felt really slow. It felt like the plot wasn't progressing. I can't be specific, like I said, because I don't want to give spoilers for the first or the second book. And yeah, I think I'm going to set on a 3.5. I'm not the audience. Like I said, this is a middle grade book, so I know I'm not the exact audience. I still love how Elle McNichol did the rep for the dyslexia and dyspraxia, but I didn't love this story. It's not one I'm going to reread. You'll probably see it on haul soon. I'm going to put this one and Like a Charm into my school library, because I know there will be kids that get lots out of it. But yeah, I was quite disappointed by this book, so I gave it 3.5. Then I finished I Am by Maggie O'Farrell, and oh my gosh, this book. I gave this 5 stars. Okay, as it says on the front, 17 brushes with death. This is Maggie O'Farrell's account of the 17 times that she has nearly died in her life, and they are these short vignettes of each time that something has happened to her that's been nearly fatal. And it sounds really cheesy, but I feel different. I feel changed now that I have read this book. Her writing is absolutely gorgeous. In case you don't know who I'm talking about, she is the author of Hamlet and The Marriage Portrait. Hamlet is one of my favourite books of all time. And she's just such a stunning writer. I was hesitant to pick this up, even though it's so short. It's like 250 pages, something like that. I thought, oh, it might be really like dense. It might be difficult to get into. No, I could easily have read this in one go if adult life hadn't got in the way. And like I said, I feel changed by her writing. Huge content warnings for kind of graphic injury scenes, for miscarriage and pregnancy loss and all of that kind of stuff, and also a birth. So just be aware going in, there are some really, obviously, given the subject matter, there's some really heavy topics in here, but she writes so gorgeously about these things. I was just completely swept up. And yeah, if anything, my only complaint is that it's not long enough. But yeah, I genuinely really love this book and gave it 5 stars. And then the book that came in, arrived yesterday, so it counts for June rather than July. It's One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. This was recommended to me by Charlotte at Books and Bargains. She is running all the way through July a reading challenge, and one of the prompts is a book with fat rep. And I looked at my shelves, and actually I didn't have any fat rep on my shelves, which is shameful. So I messaged Charlotte and I was like, what would you recommend? She recommended me a couple. This one looked the most fun, so I've picked this. And this is about a plus size influencer, I think, who goes to be the Bachelorette in a dating show. And yeah, it just looks really good, although my copy came damaged by Amazon, but I will deal with that. But yeah, this you will see me read in July as part of that reading challenge. So yeah, that's the book that came in. Okay, let's wrap up this wrap up. This is why I don't usually film after school. I've been teaching all day. You can see from how mad my hair is that I've been like, I tend to, when I get stressed, to like pull on my hair, if that makes sense, or like run my hands through it a lot. And I've clearly been doing that a lot today because it's a mess. So let's wrap this wrap up and then you can get on your merry way. So in June, I read 16 books, which is great. That's above average for me. I read 5,739 pages, which is 192 a day, which is brilliant because I'm always aiming for 150 a day through the year. My average star rating was also really high at 4.16. My favourite read, it had to be the Maggie O'Farrell. I gave it a few 5 stars this month to Young and Damned and Fair, which was on audio, Return of the King, Into the Drowning Deep, which was a reread, The Hunger Games was a reread, and then this. And this is definitely my favourite read of the month. Highly recommend this one, as long as you can handle the content warning. Most disappointing, it's not going to be a surprise, but it is going to be like a curse. Like I said, I was bored through a lot of this, and it just felt like we were treading water for a lot of it. So yeah, that was disappointing, especially given that I gave the first book 5 stars. I did have quite high expectations. My TBR stands at 39, which is exactly where it was at the end of May. The oldest book on my shelf is Peaches from Monsieur le Cure, which I got for Christmas, and that is included in the Books and Bargains reading challenge as book that's been on your TBR for far too long, something like that. Like, it's my oldest book, so I will read that next month. And you don't need to know my sub count. And then balancing the books, I had 10 go out. I read 16, but some were either audiobooks or rereads. So I had 10 go out off my shelf physically, 10 come in, and that obviously means we are even. It also means year to date I've still got had three more books come in than go out, but I don't think that's too bad. And we all know by now that I'm going to attempt a 31 in 31 in August, which should clear the decks. Even if I don't hit 31, I feel like I'll read a significant amount of books in August. That is the end of the June vlog. June's been a good month. Had my sister's wedding, had our 6th wedding anniversary, lots of chaos in between. Charlie's been poorly, but he is hopefully on the mend, or will be on the mend shortly. And the weather is starting to improve a little bit. July is going to be the end of term for me and for Charlie, obviously, in the first 3 weeks, and then we'll be into the first week of summer holiday. So yeah, there's plenty of nice things on the horizon. If you made it to this point in the video, leave me... What should you leave me? Leave me an engagement ring emoji, which is on that cover. I just think it'd be fun to have a load of engagement ring emojis in the comments if you guys have made it this far. Please subscribe if you'd like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everyone. Bye!